2, 1.
My name is Umaira Nuhusna binti Sani. My matrix number is AS13060.
Hi guys, my name is Muhammad Nabil Adib Ibrahim. My matric number is AS12638.
My name is Nur Shahira binti Zulkifli. Matrix number AS12843.
Hello, my name is Ros Adli Nadira binti Roslan and my matric number is AS12465.
Do you guys know that the vascular plants dominate the natural nearly all terrestrial habitats? If you guys know about it, that's great. But how the vascular tissue affect the plant? Maybe you wondered about the origin of vascular tissue. So watch this video till end. Our group will explain to you more briefly about it. Evolution of vascular bundle gave extremely effective way for plant to adapt with its environment. So, what is the example of evolution in vascular bundle that affect the plant? First and foremost, plant can achieve great height. This is because they have roots that absorb water from the soil and vascular tissue with a xylem that transport water from roots to the leaves. When the plant have great heights, they can undergo photosynthesis more efficient because most of the part of plants, especially the leaves, exposed to the sunlight. The higher the plant, more sunlight can be absorbed. Besides, it also has another conducting tissue called phloem that transport nutrients in a plant. Can you imagine how plant can stay alive without food? Yes, they cannot stay alive because they cannot generate energy to undergo life process. So, why phloem related to this problem? Phloem involved in transportation of organic compounds such as glucose that produced during the photosynthesis at leaves. Phloem will distribute this organic compound to all parts of the plant to allow them to function in right ways. Do you guys know how the plant can maintain itself upright and become taller? It is because the cell wall of the conducting cells in xylem also contains lignin, which is a type of chemical that hardens the cell wall of land plants. To be specific, the evolution of xylem was essential of upright and taller plants. Without strong cell wall, the plant cannot maintain their shape.
Furthermore, did you guys know about the origin of vascular plant? The first plant that was found as vascular plant is Coxonea. Coxonea is a rhinophyte plant that exists in Silurian period. It was a primitive land plant that treated as genus, but probably not monophyletic. It was categorized by Plantae kingdom. Other than that, it has also unique structural adaptation found in it. The rhinophyte were only about 6.5 cm tall and had no leaves or roots. Sadly, now this plant is extinct. Can you see the structural picture of Coxonea above? In fact, the simple structure of Coxonea consists of a stem that forks evenly to produce branches ending in sporangia as shown in the picture above. In this case, the branches of Coxonea were significant for two reasons. First, it produced many sporangia to produce more spores. Second, branching is characteristic of plants that have vascular tissue. Adding to the information, the sporangia of Coxonea produce a seedless vascular plant like the rest of Lycophyte and Pteridophytes that characterized by wind-blown spores. That we will explore more in the next section.
Right now, let's talk about the basic overview of the Lycophytes. Likewise, the stem of the vascular plant, the first Lycophyte, also had leaves and roots. The leaves are called microphyll because they only have one strand of the vascular tissue. Fun facts: microphyll most likely evolved as simple side extension of the stem. What about its roots? Roots evolve simply as a lower extension of the stem, which is the organization of the vascular tissue in the roots of lycophytes today, is much as it was in the stem of fossil vascular plants, where the vascular tissue is centrally placed. Lycophytes is a club mosses, but this plant have vascular tissue unlike bryophytes, short right. Ancient time also proved that lycophytes grew large as the modern trees. Modern lycophytes grew smaller. In other species, including nearly all those of not-temperate zone, the gametophyte is subterranean, slow-growing and dependent upon an associated fungus for continued growth. The sporophyte generation of the lycophytes is dominant. The sporophytes are divided into two, which is the male gametophyte called microspore and the other female gametophytes called megaspore. The lycophytes is the oldest surviving plants in the world. Do you know why there is many lycophytes have moss in their name? Many lycophytes have moss in their name because they look like moss. Even though they have moss in their name, lycophytes are vascular plants unlike the non-vascular mosses. Maybe some of you didn't aware that the spores of lycophytes have many uses in industrial and in our daily life. In daily life, the lycophytes can be processed to make powder and put in violin and guitars for great playing experience, of course. Coding pills and latex glove is used spores due to hydrophobic properties of the spores. The inflammable properties make the spore effective for production of fireworks of magic trick. You can see multiple explosions with various colors during New Year, right? Fortunately, it is caused by the lycophyte spore. There are around 1,275 species of lycophytes in three main groups. First, the ground pines or club mosses, which is Lycopodium. Second one is spike mosses, which is Selaginella. And the last one is quiltwork, which is Isoetes.
I want to explain to you about the ground pine, which is Lycopodium. As you can see, at the top of the ground pine, sporangia are borne on the cone-shaped structure called strobili. Strobili resemble a club of heavy stick called as club mosses. Other than that, sporangia are borne on strobili where meiosis take place and spores are produced. There are two types of sporangia, which are microsporangia and megasporangia. The sporophyll associated with them are termed as microsporophyll and megasporophyll. As its branches, the components are stroma and vascular tissue, which are xylem and phloem. Next, the aerial stem and microphyll have vascular tissue, as does the rhizome. Underground stem is where the roots develop and branch.
I think maybe you can't understand this topic unless you see a live model, right? So here is our Selaginella model. Before that, let me explain to you thoroughly about Selaginella. Selaginella is one of the three groups of lycophytes. Selaginella is also known as a spike mosses. This family distinguished from club mosses by having scale leaf and spores of two types, which are megaspores and microspores. Just another group, the present Selaginella only less than 1 meter tall, and just the fossil can reach 40 meters in height. The largest Selaginella right now classified as an insect plant. It has perennial lifespan, which can stay alive for more than 2 years. This plant needs moist soil in humid and shaded forest habitat. So we can conclude that the habitat of Selaginella has cliff near spring, waterfall or small water channels that are humid, wet and somewhere open. This plant also tends to grow more abundant during the rainy season. Until now, about 700 to 750 species of Selaginella were found around the world. Now, let us take a look on our model.
This plant species is Selaginella plana. The leaf shape resembles the scales on either side of the stem like scales on chicken leg. As you can see here, the foliage structure are glossy, shiny and scaly. The stems are aerial, horizontally creeping on the substratum. It's also propagate by division, stem cutting or even spores. Now, let's move on to the rhizode part. Rhizodes are root-like structures specially found in this plant. Selaginella also categorized as a non-woody plant and shrub plant.
The final part for me is application of Selaginella in our daily life. Firstly, this plant is suitable for landscape decoration as it is small and look cute, so you can spot this plant in terrarium. Other than that, this plant is used for medication, especially for Java races in Indonesian archipelago. This compound acts as antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-allergic, and antifungal. It's also protective against UV irradiation and much more. Menstrual and urinary disorder also can be treated by this plant.